Okay, contrary to my previous video of this, I'm going to go a little bit more in-depth. For this one, might be a little bit longer, of course. So I will begin by explaining the connection string. Now again, this program will use the same web service for all instances of this application, but every restaurant will have to have their own MySQL database. Thus, the connection string will be different. Now, in a real-world environment, this application just can't be downloaded and installed. This will have to be through a customer service representative. You know, it's a recommended procedure. So if they go ahead and try to edit this connection string here, a warning will pop up that will tell them that it is recommended that the customer support sets this value. I mean, they can still do it, and I already put it in, so let's just leave it at that for now. And when they put in this connection string, there will be a first-time registration if there wasn't an account there already. But since I already created one, I'm going to go ahead and log into it. So this is the overall look and feel of the Autodesk desktop application. At the top, you can see all the things that is possible right now for the administrator. They can modify tables, drivers, the menu, and users. They can see all the tabs right now, the tables, the drivers, and the chef orders. Now there are three different types of users. So it is the administrator, the waiter, and the chef. When a waiter logs in, they will only be able to modify this menu, and they'll have the tables and drivers tab. They will not have the chef orders. But if a chef logs in, all these buttons will be disabled, and these two tabs will not be there. The chefs will only have to worry about the chef orders anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin the process of a sort of everyday workflow. Okay, so before I begin, what I want to do is I want to add tables. Okay, so here is the screen where I can modify tables. On the left, these are all the existing tables. On the right is the basic information. I mean, it's not too complicated here. It's just the table name and the number of seats of the table. Basically, why I have this is in restaurants in large restaurants, there's usually a lot of tables, and in my experience, sometimes you might forget, which tables have how many customers and whatnot. So basically, this allows for the waiter to know what table is available and what is the number of seats available, so they can save large tables for large parties, and they can assign the correct small table for small parties. So I'm going to go ahead and add a table. I'm just going to click on the add button here, and I'm just going to name it A1. Okay, and number of seats available for, I'll just say there's 8, and I'll just click the create new. There's a pop-up, successfully added table, and it's there. Okay, so let's just work with this one for now. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, and we can see now that it popped up here. So this is the basic overview of the table. It'll give you the table name up here, its status right now, which is ready, and a timer. Basically the duration since they first entered and the duration since their last status update over here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my mobile application now, because I mean, when a table first comes in, it's not gonna be the administrator behind the desk that's gonna do all this. It's usually gonna be the waiter that's gonna do everything from their mobile phone. So here is the look and feel of the mobile application, if it focuses here. Okay. So I already put in the connection string. You can do the same thing. Basically, what my system here is anything that you can do in the desktop application, you can do in the mobile application, save for one feature, which I will describe later. So I already put in my username and password. I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. And there's my table. Table A1, the status is open, time since entering is 000, time since... Anyway, so suppose I am the waiter and a customer walks in. This is a party of 4. They want to sit down. Table A1 is ready. It has a maximum of 8 seats, and I can put them in. So I'm going to start here. It's going to say the number of customers, and you can see the maximum here is, if it focuses here, it is 8. I can't do anything more than 8. And here's the lowest. So a table of 4 came in. I'm going to press OK. Now it's going to pop me up here. Now one thing you'll notice is that the status has changed here. So basically the table has sat down, and I gave them the menu. So right now they're reading the menu, and the timer has started. So let's go back here. Suppose they are done looking at their menu and they are ready to order. Now, one thing with the system is that an order is not for a table. We can't look at it that way. We have to look at is an order is for the customer. Thus, it's possible to make sub orders for each customer. This way, I mean, there are some restaurants that enforce that you put the food to the correct customer, not just in a general area on the table, and this helps that. And of course, if everybody's ordering the same thing or they are sharing, you can just put it in one customer, the entire order, and that signifies the order for the table. So let's say customer 1 wanted something. They are ready to order. So here we can see the menu just popped up. Each of them has a group, and each has a sub item in there. So for example, here are all the beverages. Now this menu is configurable right here on the desktop or the mobile application, which I will show later. Anyway, let's get to it. So here we will go ahead and look through the menu. Now one thing here is that the menu is able to display if an item is out of stock. So I already have this here, a testing category here, and we can see, if you look here, it will say it is out of order in red. I don't know, this is not focusing. Okay, there we go, out of order. So they can't order this. So if the customer wants this, the waiter already knows, and they can explain to the customer, no, we're out of order. This basically saves them a round trip to the chef and all this embarrassment and this time that takes. So so the customer wants, let's say, this and this, and they want some bread. Done. That's what the first customer wants. Customer 2, they want let's say that's out of order, condiments here, beverages, they want no entrees. And let's say customer 3 and 4, they'll share with customer 1 and 2. So this is done. We're done ordering. Now let's get back, before I complete this order, let's get back to this desktop application here. So I'm gonna log out. Come on, focus. I'm gonna log out from here. Let's exit, and I'm gonna log in with my chef account. Chef 1 username. I think it is testing 1 2 3. Okay, so here is the basic tab for the chef. This is the look and feel of it. Okay, so on the left side you can see here 2 sections. Basically, the top section is for newly arrived orders, and the bottom section is for the orders that the chef is currently cooking. And here at the top we can see, by the way, I just don't allow regular orders. Okay, waiters can also make carryout orders. So basically we have what we call new carryout orders, new regular orders, and carryout orders that are currently cooking, and regular orders that are currently cooking. So basically what will happen is, once a waiter sends this order to the chef, we can expect that order to come in right here on the carryout order. So let's see if that happens. So here I'm gonna put this right next to it so we can see it in action. So we're gonna say that the table is done. We're gonna send it. It's gonna give a confirmation. Are you sure you want to? Send it to the chef. Is it ready? Whatnot. I'm gonna click on OK. Successfully sent to the chef, and we can see that it came right here. The table order, table A1. The time entered at 9:39. This is basically to show the chef how long it's been since the order has arrived, and if they should hurry up a little bit or not, or whatever is the case. So I'm gonna be the chef. I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna look at it, and here we can see the right section being populated. The right section basically displays what are the items that I will need to cook. Okay, so I'm gonna say I read this. You know, this is my next order. I'm ready to cook it. I'm the chef. I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna say I acknowledged it, which means I read it. I'm ready to cook it. So once I did that, it's gone from there. Automatically came down to here. So now I'm currently cooking. So basically, let's say I'm the chef now, and I am done cooking. Okay. So now basically what's going to happen here is, when I click on complete, what it's supposed to do is send a notification out to all the mobile devices that an order is ready. So let's see if that is happening right now. So suppose I am a waiter, I'm done taking to the chef, I'm just walking around now, you know, just making sure everything is fine. I'm not in the application right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on complete. It's gonna be gone from here, and we're gonna wait for a notification. There we go, and it came in. That's the notification. And the notification says updates order ready for A1. And you would notice that there was a sound that played and also a vibration. Now in most restaurants, they want their mobile devices to be on vibrate. You know, they don't want the customers to hear anything. It needs to be quiet. So I added both in there. So if once they click on this notification, it'll automatically take them to the tables page, and they will see, I mean, suppose I had more tables here, it'll be like 3 or 4 of them, of course, and one of them will have status, it needs pickup, so they need to go to the back and they need to pick up that order. Now you can also see that the timer is still going. It's been 6 minutes since they entered, and it's been about a minute now since the order has been ready. So suppose I am the waiter now, I go grab the food, I'm back here, and I'm gonna say, well, whenever you select a table, it always shows their orders, of course. Now I can't modify them anymore. Okay, I mean, before I could have modified them, I could have deleted it and whatnot. I'm gonna say I sent it to them, and now they are eating. Now I'm gonna pause this for 1 second. I need to restart. Okay, I am back. So I have to do a little pause there. This phone that I am recording with has a maximum of 11 minutes per video, so I have to pause every 11 minutes and transfer the video over to my computer and then restart here. So let's get back to where we are. So let's see, where were we? Okay, so I am the waiter and I took their food to their table, and now I'm gonna say they are eating their appetizers. You know, let's leave them alone. Are you sure you would like to update this table? Yes. Successfully updated. It's in the appetizer stage right now, and I mean, okay, let's let's log out of here. Let me log back into my main account. You can see now that it's also updated here. Now we're just gonna do a quick comparison here to see how quickly this is being updated. I mean, the requirement was for this real-time system that it has to be performed under, it has to display the update in under 500 milliseconds. So I'm gonna go here now. I'm gonna say I'm the waiter. I'm gonna update the status. I mean, they're done with their appetizers. They're eating their dinner right now. Okay. I'm gonna click OK. Are you sure you would like to update? As soon as I click OK, it should update within 500 milliseconds. And I mean, I would say that is that. Can't really keep a count there, but that's the speed of that. Now, with all of this, we also have what we call drivers. Okay, so drivers are the same way. So this is the general feel. I mean, there's no sections here. This is basically just a list of drivers that will go from the left to the right. So basically, they work the same way as tables. I mean, let's first configure a driver here. So here's the configuring driver. I mean, this is a very simple screen. All we need is a name. I mean, there's nothing special to this one. So driver's name, I'm just going to call it ABCD. ABCD. I'm going to click submit. The driver has been successfully added. Oh, there it is. I'm going to click on. Well, I'm just going to X out of this. And there it is. I mean, it is also the same way. So here's the name, this is the status, and the time since they walked out, and the time since their last update. And we can see the same thing here. So we're going to go here now. We're going to click on our submenu. This opens up our submenu. Let's focus here. Basically, here's the tables where they could configure the configuration at the bottom, so they can configure tables, the drivers, the menu, and the users. Basically all the functionality that is in the desktop they can do in the mobile application. And here's where they can view the tables and the drivers. Of course, waiters will have this mobile application, thus there is no chef menu on this one. So we're gonna go click on drivers just to check the drivers, and here's a driver that we added recently, ABCD. The status is ready. Now of course the driver is also gonna have the mobile application. They're not gonna be in the desktop application. So I'm just gonna do it in a real life sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm the driver, a carryout was ready, and I was ordered to take this out for delivery. I'm gonna start, status updated. It means I just left. So there's that. I mean, it updated here as well. So that's that. I can also update the status here. Say I'm done. Let's just say I already delivered. I am ready now. I came back. I'm gonna go ahead, click OK here. It'll say, are you sure you'd like to reset this driver? It means, are you sure you'd like to put it back to the ready state? Of course. I'm gonna click OK, and it should update there. It's ready. Status updated. It's ready. Okay. So I'm just gonna go through a little bit of the configurations now, since we basically went over the major part of what this application is all about. But so here, configure tables. Configure tables is the same way. It'll give you a list of tables, and I can create a new one, modify, or delete it. So if I create a new one, it'll open up this. It'll give me the table name. I put the maximum numbers of seats as 1,000. I don't think anybody will ever need to use that number, but I put it there. And let's go to another one now. We can also do configure drivers. Same thing, same way. Create a new driver, just put a name. That's done. Gonna configure. Here's the menu. You can configure. You can delete the entire group if you want, or you can delete each individual sub item, or you can modify here the name, the price, and of course the stock remaining. Now again, every time an item is ordered, the property of this item in the database will decrease by 1, and thus once it hits 0, it means that it's out of stock. Of course, I mean, you can just change this anytime you'd like, but I mean, as a restaurant owner, you'd want to keep that in sync, in line. So that's the menu, and of course the users. You can modify them. When you add, you have the option of selecting what the account type is, if they are an admin, the waiter, and chef. Now, because of a first-time registration, well, in a first-time registration, this account type will be disabled and admin will be selected by default, because the first account made for this must be an admin, and it is recommended that the business owner makes that account. So I'm done with that one. And of course, when I log in as a waiter here, most of these buttons will be disabled for me. Okay, so that is that. Now, suppose, let's go back to here. Suppose I am the bill payer, or the one that takes care of the bill. I'm going to go into table, I'm going to click on view. Here I can see that 4 customers, or 4 buttons have been made for me. What is the reason for this? If you look on the right hand side, once I click on one, we go to the right hand side and we can see what are the things that they ordered and the subtotal for this particular custom, and this can help. So this is the auto rest application. I think I am done with the demo. Basically I outlined everything that this application is capable of doing. What I made here was, I worked in Visual Studio for the desktop application. I also made a WCF web service here that basically connects all these parts together. And for the mobile application, what I used was Android Studio and used Java to implement this. That's the auto rest application, and I hoped you liked the video.